Oh, you were gone the week before last, and then I was gone last. Yeah, it has been a couple of weeks. Everybody, come on, it's Tuesday Live. Everybody, we're gonna organize. Oh, that actually worked out pretty good. Everybody, I want you to sing along, everybody, as you're popping on. Everybody, come on, Tuesday Live. Everybody, it's time to organize. I love it. Mana, mana, dee, 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 dee. All right, we are on it. Oh, I got to get to Leanne here, see what she's doing today, see if she's logged in our little group here. What's that? Leanne Kopetsky, come on down. All right, I don't see Leanne popping on yet. I wonder, she was going to take some time off. I think she's coming though. I think she's joining us. Everybody, hey everybody! I'm assuming we're getting some eyeballs popping on. Welcome to Tuesday Live, my Tuesday Tribe. It is the first day of the Black Friday sale, which goes on all week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and a couple of questions today. Not a lot posted up on the website, but I know you all have your own questions that you can post up in the feed. A couple of things I forget to mention, which I should every week. Leanne is with us. One, if you have a question, start the question off with the word question in all caps or a bunch of question marks. And that really brings it to Leanne and Susie's attention. So, because the feed starts to move so fast, and hopefully we'll get your questions answered. In order to be entered to win the prize every week, which is a $25 gift certificate, you need to comment in the feed. All those names go into a drawing. You can tell us, you can ask a question, you can tell us where you are, or how long you've been a TT fan, or maybe you're brand new, this is your first live. We'd love to hear that as well. So just make sure and get those things in the feed. While we're waiting for people to pop on, I want to share a couple of things with you that are not necessarily organization, but a little bit on the crafty side. One question I regularly get is, do you actually craft? Do I actually craft? And what am I doing? Susie.
Yes, she does.
Yes, Susie's saying yes.
Susie does not.
Susie does not. We'll get Susie in some crafty things here. She has done some crafting, but Susie can attest to that, because every once in a while she walks into the studio and everything behind us is a disaster like it is today. So I wanted to share what I'm doing now. My mother and I are working on now. And hopefully it will inspire you as this time of year. One of the gals that lives out in the community where my mother lives is having a sip and shop where to raise money for cancer. And so my mom and I have spent the last couple of days making gift tags. Look how cute and fun these are, right? Like, look at the backside. Oh, super cute. So we got these kind of fancy ones. We've got some kind of classic. So I'm just using up old Christmas paper, right? Things that I don't have a lot of Christmas things left with. And we're going to bag these up in sets of 16 little packets like this. I used my little elf sticker on the back, right? So leftover stuff. And a lot of times we're looking for things to do. Susie, could you grab me the punches that are on the table that are for tags? So that one, and there's another one on the other side of the table, kind of behind that. Those two. Yeah, no, they're not actually the same, but they look the same. Sure? To the untrained eye, they look the same.
They look the same.
So I just used these. I don't know if you guys have seen these. They're from We Are, and they're just tag punches, and they do tags in 1 inch, 1.5 inch. No, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, and 2.5 inch, which is how we made all the nice tag shapes for these. And so then we're going to just package them up like this and donate them to the gal that's running the promotion, and she will sell them, just custom handmade gift tags to raise additional money. So sometimes we think, oh, we don't have the money to make contributions or donations or things like that to holiday things. So this is a great way to use your skill as a crafter and your leftover things, right? Like each one of those is, all the tags are made from one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, 16 tags, and then a top color, right? White on most of them. So 2 sheets of paper and some leftover embellishments or whatever, and you're able to make 16 tags, which you'll probably sell for $5. I guess my point is, going long, that if you want to make a contribution or a donation to something, and especially right now with the cost of things, and think about what you have in your craft room, that you could do some small little project like this, and then it can be sold at that holiday bazaar or event to raise money, or maybe you just want to sell them yourself on Etsy. One thing also I wanted to bring to your attention is that I did all the glitter glue parts, right? So when you use glitter like this, it takes a long time for it to dry. And so if you try to move it around yourself, you get your fingers in it and it makes a mess. So I used my rotating design board to do all, to turn the tag. So the tags are small, right? They're hard to clip. I could clip under with this, but to give myself a little more working space, I just put a sticky note on the tag, and then I clip the sticky note with the rotating design board clip. So it gives me a little bit more room to work around. So just another, if you have the rotating design board, it's another great use for that. All right, let's talk about, wait a minute, let's see what's popping up here. Okay. Black Friday specials this week. Woo woo. 3 for $2 on buddy bags. So most of you got an email today. The specials go all week. They are on the Crafters Companion website, on the Totally Tiffany US website, and the Totally Tiffany UK, Europe, excuse me, websites as well. So you should be able to take advantage of all of these specials, no matter where you prefer to shop. And your Club Inspire points add up and can be spent across any of those websites, or used, I guess, when you get your levels can be used across any of those websites. Okay, 3 for $2 on buddy bags. That means you put 3 in your cart. You're going to pay for the 2 most expensive. 30% off hang and hold. So the whole collection as well as the individual components. If you love the hang and hold, now's the time to pick up those extra pieces. 3 for $2 on paper takers and fab files. Leanne has the link to this stuff, so she'll be posting it up. 20% off Cindy and Nancy. So if you need another tote bag, this is the week to pick that up. Also, I guess, great gifts for people. There are a couple of other bundles and specials on the website today. I don't know how long they'll last. I don't know if they're just for today or if they're part of something else, because I wasn't told about them. I just found them by mistake. There is a Black Friday bundle. So if you just search Black Friday, it will pop up. That includes the Cindy tote and buddy bags and fab files. It's a great bundle. It's normally $85. I think it's $55. So you're saving $30 on that, which is about 40% if my math is good. And then also the store and clip pods. So if you love that store and clip system for use in your IKEA Kallax or just in general on your workspace, those are on special 3 for $2 as well. Do you have a question yet? Okay,
I do have some, yeah.
Okay, do you want to start?
Let me get to my pictures. First one says, from Gloria Ralston. I know you've been asked this a lot. Sorry. What's the name of the IKEA shelving? I'm now able to purchase it. Many thanks for all your hard work.
The IKEA shelving behind me is Fjalkinge, which I know is not how you actually pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. Fjalkinge, Fjalkinge. And the shelves come in a couple of different widths, lengths or whatever, but I love it and I would totally recommend it to anybody else. I got a question here from Linda Gelmini.
Oh, that was next to mine.
Okay, the spinders on my scrap rack has a tendency to fall off. Is there anything else I can store them in on the shelf besides the binder? I would like to have easy access to the spinders with my scrapbook items. So I want you to check one thing. A lot of times with the scrap rack, people have it set up backwards. I know this sounds ridiculous. You're like, how is that even possible? When you look at the back of your scrap rack, and I believe there's a picture on the website. So if you went to the scrap rack base and to look at it, there's one. When you set it up and you turn it, when you look at it from the back, you should see a solid metal piece. If, when you look at it from the back, it's tall and you see the hinges, you need to tip it over because it's actually sitting on its back. So you may have it set up incorrectly, which is common enough that we have that pictures on our website, tip it over, put the spinders back on it, and it should be fine. If you just want to store your spinders another way, the best way to do that is to, and I believe that there's also a blog post that talks about this. On Amazon or Target or Walmart or any of those stores, they sell the metal grid. Do I have a grid panel here of anything? The metal grid that hooks together with those round pieces, right? And that is 14 by 14. And your dividers in your scrap rack are like 13 by 13. So they fit in those shelves perfectly. So what I would recommend, and I don't know, maybe Leanne could look it up and post a link, or Barb Carlson, if you're on with us today, you might be able to find that link and post it as well. If you build one of those cubes and you add extra shelves to it, then you can slide your spinders in, label each spinder, and then pull them out as you need them if you don't want to use the binders. So there are a couple of different ways to do that if you don't want to use the base. But I think the odds are your base is, the only time I've ever heard of spinders falling off the base is when the base is set up the wrong way. So you may be really happy if you just push the base over. I'll tell you a funny story about that. When we first started the scrap rack, which is now 20 years ago, I was at a trade show in Texas. This is probably 2 years into it. And there was a group of gals who, and maybe some of you are on, I don't know. If you are, please say, yeah, that was me. Group of gals, 4 or 6, and all of them had bought the scrap rack the previous year together. And they loved it because they all crafted together, so they were able to pack up their scrap racks easily, take them wherever they were, blah, blah, blah. And so one gal says to me, we love our scrap racks, but we don't like the way the pages kind of sag across the table. So one of the gal's husbands built this little shelf to hold the pages up. And that was the first time that I had ever heard anything like that. And I realized in that conversation that all of those gals had their scrap racks all set up at the wrong angle, and that's why the pages were dragging across the table. So I took them over to the demo and I said, hey, does your scrap rack look like this? And they're like, yes. And I go, well, you have it set up upside down, push it over, blah, blah, blah. And they had them all at the crop, and they were so excited. They came back the next day and said, oh my gosh, you're right. We all had them set up upside down. They work so much better. So keep that in mind. If you're using a scrap rack, it still works, which is why people don't realize it's not set up properly. You should see the scrap rack on this flat metal back when you're looking at it from the back versus being able to see the hinges from the back. So that may help. Okay, Susan Sheehy. What bags do Catherine Pooler inks go in, full and mini? Catherine Pooler inks are the same size as like Spectrum Noir or, do I have a Catherine Pooler in my little stash back here? Or Spectrum Noir. So they're going to fit perfectly in the Stephanie Buddy bag. So for the full size, the Stephanie Buddy bag is perfect. For the smaller ones, they're going to fit. I don't think I have Catherine Pooler in here either. I believe, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, that her small size are the little squares. So if they are, they're going to fit in the 8-drawer storage and supply case. Now, I did with Gina K to keep my small and large together. Someone's asked me how to do this. So this is the 8-drawer storage and supply case, but I removed the 6 middle drawers. So I have the 6 of the big ink pads with the coordinating daubers and, whoops, or you can't tip it too much, I guess, with the coordinating daubers and small ink pads all in one 8-drawer storage and supply case. And to do that, I just moved the 6 of the drawers out to open up the center section like that. So a couple of different options there. And yes, those will fit in here. The Catherine Poolers would fit in here as well. The oval shape, even though these are rectangle, you'd still be able to do that with the Catherine Poolers. That should work great for you. Now, remember the Stephanie does come with the label stickers too, so it makes it really easy to clearly label, which I haven't done on these, but you can use those label stickers to clearly label the edge of your ink pad so you know what the true color is on those also. All right. Christy Lamb said, I have a lot of felt for crafting ornaments. Any ideas? Most of it are paper size sheets, but there is a lot of it. You know, if you have a lot of it, I would think maybe something like a Lois tote. And I know Stephanie, the Stamps of Life, they their felt comes like tri-folded, and she has a set that is the Lois tote with dividers in it, with the vinyl roll organizer dividers in it, and then you're able to roll up, and your felts is how Stephanie recommends doing it, and you can find that on the Stamps of Life website. If you just have flat felt, it might work great to do a Lois tote. I'm going to test something out. So when you say it's paper size, that is, so this is the 8.5 by 11 paper handler. This is the Cindy tote. So you may be able to go this direction with paper handlers and then either leave your felt flat or roll it like something like this, right? And do it in rolls this way. Again, you say you have a lot. It might work just as well to just fill a Lois tote with that felt across and be able to like look into it and pull things out and then store the tote away. I'll put some thought into that though, Christy, and see if I can come up with anything else. I think my main takeaway from your question is the word a lot, which means that it might be better even to just have it. So one of the things about fabric in general is, hang on, let me put my tote back, is that it kind of sticks to each other, right? When you have it stacked up, when you try to pull it out, you have to take out the stack and dig to what you want, put the stack back together and then put it away, which always is annoying to me. So in the case of felt, especially if it's 8.5 by 11 paper size felt, even if you just use something like a regular sheet of white paper in between each color. So if you have 2 or 3 pieces of red or 2 or 3 pieces of green, then you could at least reach in and just pull out the red, take out what you need, and then slide it back in, because the paper would allow you to slide out one color at a time. I mean, again, it's copy paper. It's inexpensive. We all have plenty of it around. Even if you put a sheet of paper between each sheet of felt, then you could just reach in and pull out one sheet of felt at a time. As you get new felt, re-put the paper back in. That would take almost no time at all, but it would make it so easy to just keep that felt in rainbow order and pull in and out whatever you need. I hope that makes sense. And sometimes I get on a little tangent and then I'm thinking, is everybody following me? Shani Fjellstead, any updates on the Faline bag? Yes and no. The Faline bag will be back in stock on Stephanie's The Stamps of Life website first. I think, you know what? Susie, can you check at scrapbook.com and see if they have the Faline? I think the whole initial order went to the Stamps of Life and they sold it out like that. We may have got a second order in that went to scrapbook.com. Simon Says Stamp, some of the other companies that carry, some of the other retailers that carry the Totally Tiffany line. So I'll get Susie's fast fingers on that real quick and we'll see. If not, we'll have to wait until it comes back in for Stephanie. I don't have a confirmed date on that, but I do know that on Stephanie's website, you can put your name in.
Which site did you want me to check? I'm sorry.
Scrapbook.com.
Okay.
When I'm writing myself a note to see if I can get more info on that one. When back in stock. But I know when it comes back, if it's not currently available on other sites. But I think Stephanie got all the inventory that we brought in for that first run. I mean, she So we're going to find out. And then we will not have it on our website probably until June. So Stephanie, scrapbook.com, Simon Says Stamp, possibly joanne's.com or michaels.com will have those before we have them on our website. So I will try to get a post up as soon as they are back in stock somewhere if Susie doesn't find them right now. Next question. Marianne Ellsworth says, what storage works for close to my heart re-inkers? Close to my heart, if I'm correct, they do a slightly larger re-inker than everybody else. Am I remembering that correctly? If they're the same size as Tim Holtz, as Stampin' Up, as Stamps of Life, they are just this size. This is the Teresa Buddy bag. There's 10 in there, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. There's 10 in there. So if they are this size, you can use the Teresa for 10. You can use, which I thought I had up here, but maybe not. You can use the Merle or the Edna bag, and you can fit 30 in the Merle or Edna if they are this size. If they're the slightly larger size, gosh, I thought I used to have some of those around here too. Then you're going to look for like at the Irene bag, if they're the taller ones. And I think Fun Stamper's Journey, they were also a little bit bigger. So if you can give me the height on those, I can confirm which things fit and which don't fit. But if they're this size, same size as kind of the standard size, there's only a couple of companies that make inks, right? So everybody formulates their inks, and then this one company makes them, which is why they're all the same size oval. Second company does all the same size rectangle size boxes. So they're pretty standard in most cases. I'm going to take a little. Okay. So Susie says it is not popping up on scrapbook.com. I will try to get a post out. I have a meeting this following today with the source or the inventory team, and I will specifically ask about Faline and see if I can get a post up sooner than later about that. I also wanted to tell you guys, look what I got. I got the new Creative Scrapbooker magazine, which you know that I love. It comes out quarterly, and I always share with you what my big plan is. And there is this amazing article. So I always try to do one thing that I read about in the magazine. I mean, I love the magazine. I love the way it feels. I love the way it smells. I love drinking a cup of coffee and just going through it because we don't get as many magazines as we used to. But this article is amazing because it's multiple pages, and it literally is going to take you step by step through everything you need to create this mini album. And as you know, you guys have seen me do multiple mini album things. I love them. So learning to do a new one and being able to do it from scratch, I'm super excited to test this out. So if you don't subscribe to Creative Scrapbooker magazine, you probably should, because it's amazing. Susie doesn't because she's not a crafter, but I always force her to look. But there's so many great ideas in here, and they send me 2. And I'm going to give one of them away. Oh. So Leanne is going to draw a winner for the magazine today as well. So if you don't subscribe, I mean, obviously you subscribe, and we choose you. Well, you could share it with someone. We don't know if you're a subscriber or not. So if we choose you, then you can share that with somebody. Maybe it's a good little Christmas add-on gift for a crafty friend who doesn't subscribe. But I've got an extra one to give away. And then whoever the winner is, I want you to read it and tell us what your favorite thing is in that magazine. Okay. Oh, over here. Faline is available on Shop Be Creative. So it's shop and then B like a bumblebee, BEE Creative. For the Faline Buddy Bag is available there. Look at that. Woo! I think Kimberly must be watching. Kimberly, are you with us? Kimberly Saldana, giving us that information. Okay, what else do I need to tell you all about today? So for those of you who joined us for Shop and Show, It was a great event. If you're unfamiliar with the Shop and Show event, there are some links up in our social media. Get on their email list and know what is going on when with them. That would be great. What else do I have to talk about? We don't have a lot of questions today. If you got a question, get it up in the feed.
Here we go.
Oh, Susie's
going past.
Susie.
Question: what is the best storage to use for the new teardrop shaped ink pads from Crafter's Companion?
The teardrop shaped ink pads I talked about the other day. Oh, here they are. And they fit in your Stephanie Buddy bag also. When I got mine, I made a huge mistake putting them in. So when I first did them, I put my labels on this way, right? And I thought I was going to be brilliant. So these are a little bit different because of the way that they open up, right? So I thought, oh, I'm going to be brilliant, and I'm going to split the label on both sides of this. And I did that, and I cut it with a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, and it kind of made a mess. So if you want to split the labels, you have some on the bottom and some on the top, which is helpful when you just have it sitting on your workspace, right? You can just put the label on the top, but then if the lid gets moved around somewhere, when you're just looking at that ink pad, if you have multiple ink pads, you're not really sure what color it is. So it is helpful to have the label split between the top and the bottom in that respect. But all the weight for these, because of the shape of them, is in the front. So when I first did that and I pulled them out because they were heavy in the front, everything dumped out of the box. So if you're labeling your new shimmer inks, which are this Teardrop, label them on this side so that when you put them in, you can still clearly see them, but the weight is toward the back. So when you lift that box out of your Stephanie bag, they're not going to dump out everywhere. So, but the short answer, the Stephanie Buddy bag is the right bag for storing your shimmer inks, which also means that you can put them in with other ink pads. So if you don't have 24 shimmer inks, you can still use up the other sections of your Stephanie bag. And of course you do, as I mentioned earlier, you get those label tabs with your Stephanie. All right, you got anything else for me, Suze?
I think we got.
Oh, let me see what's going over here. I did get a couple of questions about the store and go bags, when those are going to be back in stock. And so what's happening with the store and go bags is that we've made them a little bit longer, so they will accommodate. Right now, they're 8.5 by 11. So what is a store and go bag? That some of you are thinking, I don't even know what you're talking about, Tiffany. So the store and go bags are this style of bag. They come in a 1 inch, a 1.5 inch, and a 2 inch depth. All of them were 8.5 by 11 in the interior tray size. We have enlarged them to be long enough now for A4 and wide enough for 8.5 by 11. So there's just a little bit of a modification going on. All of those are in production now. We do have the 2 inch deep store and go available on the website, and it is that bigger size. But the rest of them, so there's this one that's 1 inch. There's and then there's the one that's double sided, and then the 1.5 inch. All of those are in production now, so you will see those coming back. They're perfect for punch storage. Obviously, I have my Misty, my stamp scrub in here. So it's a great way to store, stamp press and stamp cleaner. It's a great way to store things like that. It makes it really easy to drop it into your tote and take it with you. So all of those will be back hopefully sooner than later. But I know that's a regular question we've been getting is, are those still going to be available? And if so, when? And yes, they're in process.
Okay. Question: how can I keep track of the boxes I remove from buddy bags? How do I know what goes where if I change my mind?
So if you are taking the boxes out of your buddy bags, which some people do, and they either use the boxes separately or in this case, she's just storing them, just take a Sharpie. When she's asking, I'm sorry, I'm repeating what Susie just asked me just in case the mic didn't pick it up. How do I store those, and how do I remember which one goes in which bag? Just write the name. Take a Sharpie and just write the name of the buddy bag on that plastic box. Even if it's flat, write the name of the buddy bag on there. And then when you put it in the bag, you can just take rubbing alcohol and wipe that Sharpie off, or maybe just leave it on there, like write it on the bottom so it won't show anyway. And then if you need to remember later what bag that is, it's going to be written on there. If you're talking about the bags that have multiple boxes, like Katja, Dawn, Barbara, those bags, I would suggest that you write Katja 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4, so that you remember that there are multiple boxes that go with that. I also, one of the things we regularly get asked for is, can I purchase the boxes separately? I just want to use them as drawer organizers or in my cart or whatever. That was a discussion at last week's meeting. We're putting some serious thought into it. I am strongly advocating that we do move forward with that because they are so versatile and there are so many different ways to use them. So I will keep you posted on how that comes along.
Okay, another one. This may be the craziest question, but the more I organize, the more I get confused as to where everything is. Any suggestions?
So the more you organize, the more you get confused about where things are. I would say just create a catalog list for yourself. So as you're organizing whatever it is, maybe you're putting all of your embossing powders into an Edna bag. Just start an Excel spreadsheet. If you don't have Excel, Google Docs has a spreadsheet. You can also do it manually. You can do it in Word. The nice thing about doing it in Excel is that it's easy to sort alphabetically, and just put embossing powder and then where it is. And that will be helpful on a number of levels. The first thing is, when you need to find your embossing powders, you can just go to your list and it will tell you, oh, they're in an Edna bag on the shelf, or they're in my, wherever you have them tucked away. It will also make it easier for you to use more of your stuff, because just mentally knowing, like, oh, I'm going to use embossing powders, and you're like, oh, I don't know where they are. That's going to be a pain. You'll use them more often because you can find them quickly. So easy, start a spreadsheet. One of the things that we also talked about doing is creating a cataloging kit that will help you catalog your die, stamps, punches, inks, chalks, pens, all the stuff that we talk about in the Get Organized Challenge cataloging. So you may see later next year a cataloging kit that really helps you with that. But the same principle, if you haven't taken the Get Organized Challenge, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But it will be, if you just make a list and note where they are, and you can either print the list or have it on your phone, or just, keep it next to your craft station. And then you can just look, where are my embossing powders? And then it'll tell you exactly where to go. So it'll take a couple minutes, but it'll be worth it in the long run. And for those of you who have done cataloging of any sort, that's a regular comment, right? Like, the thought of it was overwhelming, or was a lot of work, but it's been priceless since then.
All right. What colors are available for the Cindy bag?
Cindy Tote is available in purple and black, and it is on sale 20% off on the Totally Tiffany website this week as a Black Friday special.
Okay, question. What is the size of the Faline and the Chastity bag?
The Faline bag, Faline. I can't not sing that right so I should know this, but I think it's 7 by, here we go. It is, 8. So when I'm measuring this, I'm going black trim to black trim. It is designed to hold 6x6 paper pads and our 6x6 pockets, and as always have some room, so it's easy to put things in and out of the bag. So the exterior is going to be 8 inches. The interior box dimension is 7, 7 across, 4 deep, and I believe it's also 7 high, yes, and 7 high. So it will hold, I think Stephanie told me that you can get 12, I almost said 24, that would be wrong. 2, 4, 6, 12 of her 6x6 paper pads in the Faline bag. Now, manufacturers all make different size 6x6 paper pads. So Stephanie's are bigger than 6x6. I think Stephanie's are 6.25. Some of them are actually 6x6. Some of them are 6.5. And again, that is why, Stephanie's are 6.5, 6.75, like that. And that is why whenever we make something designed for 6x6 storage, it is usually 7x7 because that accommodates everybody that we've run into in the marketplace making 6x6 in different sizes. But you can get 12 of Stephanie's paper pads in the Faline Buddy bag. 7x7x4 is the interior, the storage size on that.
And the chastity?
The chastity bag. The chastity bag is 13 by 3 by 4. And again, it's going to hold 24 Tim Holtz inks. It also, of course, works great if you, now this bag isn't out yet. It will be on Be Creative. It's any day. Shop Be Creative any day. Of course, Stephanie will have it when it comes in stock, as well as scrapbook.com after the Be Creative, I think, has it for 2 weeks exclusive. And then, but it also works for your pots of things. So I have my foiling gilding flakes in here, but it also works for your embellishment paste. It works for chalk couture paste. So anything that's got that pod shape is also going to fit in here. So it's a great storage option for that as well.
Okay. Kay Duchesne is asking, I have a Brother P-Touch Embellish ribbon and tape. What Buddy bag will it fit in?
I'm not 100% sure. I have a P-Touch, and I think that's Susie. My little label maker, it is usually in that cart. Keep going, keep going. Do you see it? One, I just used it, so it might not be in there. I might have set it down wherever I was using it. If you can tell me the size of your P-Touch, it probably is going to fit in, boy, it probably is going to fit nicely in the Faline bag, actually. But without knowing the exact dimensions of it, she spotted it. So if it is the same size as this little guy, which it might be, it might also be bigger. So mine is the little thing, it's probably 7 by a little over 4. So if you want to be able to close it up, then it's probably going to be, and it's this size, 7 by 4. This is the Terry bag. Let's see if I have an empty one so I don't have to dump things out. Ooh, here we go. This might be the good option. This is actually the Sarah Buddy bag. I'm going to take the little thing out of the bottom. So it's probably too tall. It's too tall. I'm going to say no. Too tall. Waste of space. Waste of space. Oh, definitely. Oh, maybe. Here's the good solution. The storage and supply cases, I bet. So this is the 2-drawer storage and supply case, the smaller one, right? So there's the 12 by 12 version, and then there is the 8.5 by 11 version. And I would, even if yours is bigger, you would be able to get your machine and then all your accessories in the other drawer. And so that might work perfectly. So I
just put in there, use the 2-drawer storage and supply case.
Oh,
my label maker.
Somebody else just posted that up. So that might be a perfect solution. 2-drawer storage and supply case. So this is also a P-Touch, but I don't know if they're the same size. The one that does the embellishment ribbons. I don't know if it might be a little bit bigger or different size on that, but yeah, 2-drawer storage and supply case could be the winner there.
All right, somebody asking do you tear apart your Creative Scrapbook magazine or do you keep it intact?
Do I tear it apart or keep it intact? Previously with magazines, this is back in the day when we got so many of them. I always tore them apart. right? I picked out the articles that I wanted to use, and then I kept this notebook that was divided up by page layouts or product ideas, different products I wanted to check out right from the advertising section. That was when we had Creative Scrapbooker, Creating Keepsakes, Memory Makers, Ivy Cottage, Paper Cuts. I mean, there was just simply scrapbooks, etc. And I used to write for all those magazines, so I got all of them, which was fun. But there were so many, and you couldn't really keep track of things. So with Creative Scrapbooker, I do not tear them up. They're also only quarterly, so there's only 4 a year. But I'm not opposed to it. I mean, if you're going to use that, the way you're using the information should kind of determine if you're going to pull them apart or not, right? If you are keeping the layout ideas separate from the lettering ideas, the lettering that they have in them, the hand lettering, it makes sense if you're doing that all the time that you would want to have all of those together rather than having to go back and just kind of flipping through the sections here to see, rather than to go back and find them each month, because then you could flip through that hand lettering and also see all your different choices in one time. So I would say it depends on how you're using it. Previously, that is exactly what I did. This section, love letters, where it talks about hand lettering. If that's what you're inspired by and you're using it all the time, the easier it is for you to use that information, the more likely you are to use it, which means you're getting the most value out of your magazine. I do not do that anymore because there's only 4 a year, so it's a little bit easier to keep track of things.
Okay, another question. Will the Laura 2.0 bag be coming back? I recently found an old Totally Tiffany video and have become infatuated.
No. The Laura 2.0, I have one up on my shelf, was designed to carry buddy bags to crops and events. And it is not on the drawing board as something to bring back at this point.
Okay.
It is a great tote, though, especially if you like to go to things, keeps all your buddy bags up and easy to pull in and out and all that stuff.
And the Lois do the same thing.
Lois does the same thing, but dimensionally. So the Laura. Okay, I'll grab it. Right, if I can reach it. Hang on.
That big turquoise bag.
Yeah. If you hear things clattering down, everybody. Okay. So this is the Laura 2.0. Oh, it's dusty on top. So it had a clear top, so you could see into it. And it was designed so that when you were carrying it at a crafting event, like shopping at this, when you were carrying it, it stayed, you got the strap, kind of a slimmer profile. So versus the Lois that kind of comes out this way. And it's also, I think it's 16 inches across, which meant you could put bigger things in there. So if you were using it as a shopping tote, you could put, and it had big, a big paper pot or big storage pocket on this side. And it has this band on this side. So if you pull up your roller handle, I don't know why I'm talking about this. You can't have it. I don't know. Now I'm loving it again. Maybe I'll bring it up. I'll bring it out at our next planning meeting and see what the thoughts are. It's a super versatile bag. And then, of course, the buddy bags stand up vertically in it. So it's really easy to pull them in and out. So I will, we'll see. You never say never, but it is not planned.
Okay.
All right.
Linda Christopher, I have so many paper pads, and the thought of taking each page out to store is overwhelming. Any suggestions? Yes.
Store your paper pads vertically and add a label tab to the end of them so that you know what they are. I know exactly where this is, so I'm not going to send Susie on a goose hunt, on a wild goose chase here, but I will pull this out. So, I got a pocket. So this paper pad I just pulled out of my, so I have this section that's called antique ancestry, and it's paper that kind of looks like this, right? It's got that kind of old-fashioned feel to it. And this is a whole paper pad of it. So I just stood this up next to the paper handler, and I just added this label to the end that says what it is. So I can just pull it out vertically. So don't stack them flat. Stand them up so you can pull out one paper pad at a time. So this says that floral antique, but I probably have 6 Christmas pads, and one of them is labeled, I don't label usually the name unless I know what that is, but one of them is red and white, one of them is pink and blue. So it just says Xmas, pink and blue, red and white, gold, whatever the main thing is for me. And then they're all just standing up with their little tabs out. So like when I'm making these, I'm going to do a set that's pink. So I'm going to pull out that pink Christmas pad right off the shelf, but it's standing vertically and I can pull it right out. This is the same thing if you buy, so I have one paper pad that is like 180 sheets of paper, mostly ugly. It's an old paper pad. But it's all 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. So that is just right in the front of my seasons paper handlers. So I always remember that it's there and it's stored this way. Again, I can pull it right off and on the shelf. So don't store them flat, but store them right in with the rest of your paper. So if it's Christmas paper pad, it should be stored right with the, next to the paper handler that has all the rest of your Christmas paper. Maybe you're using a fab file right next to that fab file so that all your Christmas stuff is together. But just add a little sticky label on it, and then you can use that sticky label to pull it forward, right? So it makes it really simple to. And then I use a 12 by 12 tab divider pocket inside of the paper pads to keep the big scraps that I'm keeping. So if you got scraps, keep them with the paper. What else you got for me, Suze?
How many sections do you advise per spinder on the scrap rack?
How many sections per spinder? I think it just depends what they are. So the biggest key to the spinders on your scrap rack is to take your spinder off your scrap rack, set it on the table flat, push all the pages over to one side, and then pop it open. And if when you pop it open, pages pop off, it's probably overloaded. Now dividers, if you have a divider on the top, that's probably going to pop off just because of the stiffness of the divider. So don't worry about that. But if you've got a bunch of pages popping off, your spinder is overloaded more than likely. So it doesn't really matter. Like I have 3 spinders that are travel, but I've got 1 spinder that is beach, birthday, baby, like those 3 categories on it. So it has more to do with how many pages per spinder than how many sections. I always recommend at least 2 dividers per spinder because it gives you page stability. So that helps. So if you're dividing by sections, and you only have 2 sections, 2 dividers is going to help with your page stability. So I definitely recommend that.
All right. Faylene Tonkin is asking.
Hi, Faylene.
Which label maker would you suggest?
You know what? I have had this for years. I love it. It's super easy to use. It's just the Brother P Touch. It's really, I don't have any complaints about it. It's got some little directions on the back for changing the font size and style. I rarely do that, but they're right there on the back. You can buy the Amazon brand of label for it, so it's less expensive. Sorry about that, brother, but that's just the way of the world. So I've been totally happy with it, and I have had it for years. The one interesting thing about this, though, is that as long as I have had it, it has given me this message when I turn it on that says low battery. And it doesn't matter how often I put in new batteries, which isn't very often, it always says low battery, but it's not. So I don't know, it's a weird little glitchy thing in this particular one, or if they were all kind of do that, but it works great. I love it. Brother P Touch, super easy to use. I am thinking about coming out with my own though in the future, just because I am a labeling junkie. But yeah.
All right, this is I'm not sure, and it's just Facebook users. I don't know who it is. Question, see above, which I can't find where above is. There's so many in the feed. needed to say bought during their anniversary sale on Crafter's Companion, and they said that they had a stock discrepancy and didn't have enough of the 12 by 6 boxes, that they ran out of supply, and they did credit me for the 2 of them, but mailed me the rest of the bits and bobs kit that Tiffany endorsed live on their show. But again, I have nothing to store them in. When are you going to get them in? And appreciate you let me know.
Okay, I remember the name, the Bits and Bobs kit. I don't remember exactly what was included in that kit, though. I would suggest sending all of that information to customer service, because I don't know, and we might have it. Send it all to customer service at totally-tiffany.com. That is Leanne, and she will do her very best to sort that out for you and see if there isn't something available. The box, you're right. It seems odd that we would sell a bundle and then only ship you part of the bundle, because you're right. How are you going to use the whole thing without all the pieces? So, sorry, I'm writing myself a note so I can address this.
Patty Pie Productions says, please make a label maker that doesn't waste so much tape.
I know. Oh my gosh, that is my biggest complaint.
I know they do that on purpose so we will buy more refills faster.
Patty Pie Productions, that is why she says, make a label maker that doesn't waste so much tape in between labels. And, you know, that is so funny. You know what I do? That is exactly why I think I need to do my own. I will do a whole bunch of labels, right, on as many characters as I can, which is limited, on one thing, and then cut them apart, because then I can control the amount of space between each label, because you're right, it wastes I don't know, probably at least an inch of tape. Well, here, I'm going to print this. We'll find out how much it's going to waste. It wastes like an inch of tape between each label word. So this one says Christmas. So yeah, I bet it's at least a half an inch, because you've got this, and then the next one that comes out, you're going to have another half an inch or quarter inch to make a half inch. So what I do, I'll do multiple words like Christmas and then leave 2 spaces, Easter, 2 spaces, 4th of July, 2 spaces, and then print it out and then just cut them apart, because I am with you, Patty Pie Productions.
Barb
that is annoying.
Change your label maker to chain print.
Okay, whatever that means.
Yeah,
let's check it out. Chain print. And then it won't do that. Oh, see, low battery.
Somebody else is saying that too. Use the chain print option. I don't know what the.
Okay, all right, everybody.
Most of them have Barb says most of them have a chain print option, so it doesn't do that. Oh, isn't that?
Okay, wait. Okay, good. Chain print. I'm on it. I'm going to figure that out for mine. I'll report back. Yeah, that annoys me also. All right. Okay, here I am fudging the system. Thanks, Barb. All right. Meg Ferroli says, any word on making the shut your flap tabs in white? Actually, no, I have not gotten any. I'll see if we can't get that figured out, though, or at least get some confirmation on it.
Carrie, oh wait, don't go. Wait, it's going too fast. Come back.
Ah!
Carrie, Drought, do you still carry the double-sided 1-inch store and go? I can't find it on the TT website.
The double-sided 1-inch store and go is one of the bags that I was talking about earlier, which is being modified in size. So that is this guy right here, for those of you who don't know. So it's got 2 1-inch drawers, right, in a single bag. And so these are all being redone in that A4 length. So they will be, it's in production now. I don't have a confirmed date on it, but yes, they will be back in stock. We just talked about it this morning. So according to the powers that be, all of them will be back in that bigger dimension, hopefully fairly soon. All right, we got anything else here? Okay, so I'm going to remind you all really quickly, if you haven't commented, you can't get into the drawing. So tell us why you love TT, what your favorite TT product is, how long you've been hanging out with us, any of those things, just to get your name in the feed, and that way you will be entered to win. All right. So, and then I just want to go for those of you who jumped on later, I just want to talk quickly about the Black Friday specials. If you didn't get the email today, please be sure to check your junk mail if you want to make sure that you are getting our emails. If you're not on the email list, you can sign up the next time you're on the website. Black Friday specials all week long, buddy bags, 3 for $2, which means you put 3 of them in your cart and the least expensive one is going to be free. So you're going to pay for 2, but get 3. 30% off all hang and hold. So if you're looking to extend your desktop, the space that you have to craft and create, the hang and hold is 30% off. That's the individual components as well as the full set. Paper takers and fab files are also 3 for $2. So you can mix and match on those things and get exactly what you need. The Cindy tote and Nancy tote are both 20% off. There are a couple of other promos that were live on the website today. They weren't mentioned in our meeting this morning, so I'm not sure if they're just for today. Maybe they're part of a show that's happening on Crafters TV, but there's a Black Friday bundle, which is the Cindy tote, buddy bags, fab file, pockets, normally $85. It's just $55. It's a great value today. So search Black Friday on the Totally Tiffany website and it'll pop up in that group as a bundle. And then also the Store and Clip Pod collection is on special today, 3 for $2 as well. So if you love that system, you like the way it organizes your IKEA Kallax or Expedit cubes, maybe you're using it on your desktop, those are available 3 for $2, individual components and collection as well. All right, Susie, do you have anything else for me?
I think that's pretty good.
All right, let me check with Leanne, and if we're all good to go, we will announce a winner. Okay, and remember, there's 2 winners today. There's the magazine winner, and there is the $25 gift card winner. Now, if you are the $25 gift card winner, please, you're going to need to reach out to prizes with an S, prizes@crafterscompanion.com. Let's see who Leanne has pulled up here as the winner. Here's another question. Donna Dahlquist says, do 3D objects get smashed down in the Scrapmaster? And so I will show you, is this a big bulky Scrapmaster? What's in here? What happens with 3D objects? So what do we have in here? These are all in pockets. So no, the short answer is no. I mean, they could. So here's some stuff that's 3D, right? Dimensional. It's over here if there's anything more. So if you're putting something in there like flowers or whatever, in order for those to get smashed flat, you would have to pack in those flowers every Tuesday. It's just such a mess in here. Y'all wouldn't believe what let me tuck all this stuff in. So every Tuesday, if you were using the Scrapmaster for something like flowers, dimensional things like flowers, and you packed that pocket full, I took all those things out, you packed that pocket full, it's not going to squish down any more than you pack it in. So you would literally have to take your flowers and compress them and stuff them in there, right? And then of course, it might flatten out the flowers. But what's probably more likely, or in the real world, like this, the pockets gusset out quite a bit, right? So there's room for that. And then when you're storing these, you're storing them standing up as opposed to storing them flat. So of course, if you store them flat and you stack a bunch of heavy stuff on top of it, it's going to push it down. That's not usually how people store them. So you don't have to worry about crushing dimensional things any more than you pack them in to the pocket, right? Because the pressure on them is not pushing down because they are standing up like this. So there's nothing pushing against them. Again, I guess you could pack things in. So as hard as you push on it, but in general, just like the scrap rack, right? For those of you scrap rack, you can load those pockets up and it doesn't matter how bulky the things are. There's just space around them as you flip through because the weight isn't pressing down. It's pressing down this way. It's coming down this way. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. So the winner for the magazine, Eileen Mundell, you have won this month's or this quarter's magazine of Creative Scrapbooker magazine. Now, Eileen, what you need to do is you need to send your shipping information, your mailing address to customer service at totally-tiffany.com. That's customer service at totally-tiffany.com. And Leanne will get that to me and I will mail that out to you. So congratulations, Eileen Mundell, on that. The winner of the $25 gift card is Anna Marie Schneider. So Anna Marie Schneider, please reach out to prizes at Crafters Companion, prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com. If you are not already a member of Club Inspire, please sign up for Club Inspire first so that when they give you, because they're just going to add that $25 to your Club Inspire account so you can start shopping right away with that. All right, my friends, that wraps up another Tuesday Live. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to check out the Black Friday specials going on all week long on the Totally Tiffany website. Now, you want to shop early, right? There aren't going to be, I asked today, are there going to be any more specials? You know, the reason they all go live at the same time is so that you can shop one time and get the best deals for the week. And I was told, nope, there's not going to be any more specials on the Totally Tiffany website. This is all of them for Black Friday. So you can shop with confidence. But as you know, stuff will run out of stuff by the end of the week. So get your orders in early so you make sure you get everything that you need. Take advantage of those special deals. And I will see all of you. Oh, and have an amazing Thanksgiving. For those of you that are here in the U.S. celebrating Thanksgiving, have a great Turkey Day. And I will see all of you a week from today for my new song. I forgot it already. Everybody, come on Tuesday Live. Everybody, let's get organized. Love it. Okay. I'm such a goofball. I'll see all y'all next week.